I figured I would try to do a video just to kind of engage, I guess. Just talk a little bit more. So I have a couple of my favorite games, and then a couple games that are just like meh for PlayStation 4. So this one is the disc is loose in there. Is for VR. It's the Paranormal Activity game, Lost Soul. Yeah. The graphics on this game are really neat. It's what I enjoy about it is it's one of those that if you see something in a spot, you can come back to it. You're in a house pretty much, and you're discovering like all these rooms and everything, and it makes it to where like if something kind of catches your eye, you don't have to get it. You can come back to it, and even if it later on becomes like something like a quest essentially for you to have to do. They don't really do quests in this. Then they don't change the location of it. It doesn't change really anything about it. So I like the how that goes. It got boring, kind of. I don't know. I probably went for about 4 hours before I was pretty much of. I think I've seen everything this game has to offer. I will finish it one day, but it was minor, and I have been scratched. I've had hives, allergies, and everything. Pine's really bad right now. And why are all my discs loose? Resident Evil Biohazard. That one out of... I don't know. It felt more like a game that should be from the Until Dawn series. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, all those. It felt a lot more like that, which I do enjoy. Those are the kind of games I really like playing. I like the strategy. Myst on Windows 95, that was like what really solidified that for me is when I was a kid. This does have a good story, a good consistent storyline to follow, which is, always a plus in games. I felt it was very, very different from the other Resident Evil games. It gave you just a totally different vibe. It did not feel like a Resident Evil game, but it was still enjoyable. I don't like that one. This one just got this one, The Last of Us. I like it. It's weird because you're so used to fighting back, defending yourself, or trying to kill somebody just to prevent them from, potentially coming after you. That's not an issue in this game. You run, you hide, or you die. Those are your options. But that in itself does create its own fun because you don't have to worry about fighting back. So it's really good for people that aren't skilled, experienced, or enjoy fighting games, action games, and everything. So this would be something that I guess just more casual players would enjoy. I was okay with it. I thought it was a little boring. Farpoint VR. This came with the VR bundle set, and I mean, it's okay. It got boring very fast. The graphics and the effects just I felt that they just were a little lazy with that. It's interesting. I think if you're a fan of it, then you'll love it. But if you're not really a fan or you're not, really exposed to it, I don't think that. I look like crap. That you'd go too crazy for it. The biggest waste of money on a game. I bought this for my nephew, thinking it would be amazing to play. Werewolves Within. Hi, Prime Alpha. This sucks. This game seriously sucks. And I can tell you why. Because nobody ever plays it. You can only play with other people online, and there is never anybody online to play this. You need 5 or 6 people to play, and there's only maybe 1 or 2 other people online waiting to play. So I bought this game a year and a half ago. never actually have gotten to play it. We just sat in a room with a kid that sounded like he was about 8 years old that kept dropping the F-bomb. So, I mean, it was funny, but Impatient's fun. This is one of the... It's not an Until Dawn game, but it's from the same makers of it. It is fun. It is creepy. It is good. I like it. And a big plus, a lot of people don't know with the VR games, although I don't know why you would have a PlayStation 4 and a VR headset but not have a TV, but you can play VR without a TV. You do not need to hook up a TV to it. So the Impatient is fun. It's kind of like The Last of Us mixed with, where'd it go? Resident Evil. 2! Let's see. For the demo game ones, this is the one to pass up on. Don't waste time with this one. Oh, wait, is that the one that has Job Simulator? Yeah, this one's boring. This one's fun, though. You can do these are both VR. You do Street Luge on this, and it is... there's a good chance that you're going to get motion sickness. I'm going to save my favorite game for the end. I don't know where the rest of my games went. Skyrim, this was another one that came with the bundle set, and it's okay. I really like the graphics. I've never played it before this game, so I think that's why I didn't absolutely love it, is because I'm not more familiar with the backstory and everything. I mean, it's got everything somebody like me would love. So it's just one of those things I need to give it more of a chance. That game sucks. This is my favorite Call of Duty so far. Black Ops is fun, but World War II, that is where it's at. This one is, to me, above and beyond the best out of all of them. I love this one. It would be super cool to have Call of Duty in VR, but with the graphics and, you know, how realistic it looks now, that might not be the best decision, since there is a never-ending battle with PTSD. Outlast Trinity. It was okay. I liked it. It's very repetitive, but it's still fun. But it's very, very repetitive. So but it's neat. I mean, I enjoy the whole insane asylum rundown thing. That's, yeah, arrow to the knee. Which is funny because this impending rain actually has my knee hurting. So this was okay, but my favorite game, and I don't care who agrees or disagrees, this is my favorite game. I love this game. I can play this game all the time. It is so much fun. It is just like watching a movie that you decide how you want it to go. And it really flows that seamlessly, and it really just is a well thought out game. Rami Malek and Hayden Panettiere do the characters on here, and it is so easy. I mean, you know it's them before you even knew that they did the voices on here. Peter Stormare, is that his last name? I think so. He plays the doctor on here, and as soon as you see him, you know who he is. Stormare, I think. I don't know. But yeah, those are... Until Dawn is my absolute favorite game. Obviously, I have more games and more games that I enjoy. I just can't find them right now. I thought I had. Rush of Blood, which is another of the Until Dawn series. That one's a lot of fun. That one's a VR game. With that... My case is open. With that one, you are on in a haunted carnival, like a real sufficiently creepy one. Of course, it's Farpoint. That's not folded right. And you ride in a carnival cart through this like super like madhouse of horror. There's one that you go through a giant pig slaughter room. It's really graphic, really cool, and it's just really neat. And with the way the controllers are, R2, L2, shoot, R1, L1, reload. But it's very accurate. You have very good control and accuracy in the game, especially for just using the regular DualShock. So it's really interesting how well it can do that, and you line it. Oh, it's just awesome. But motion sickness is an issue on that one just a little bit because you can get really into it, and if you stop focusing on the fact that it's a game and everything, motion sickness hits. The worst game for motion sickness, though, and I have yet to meet anybody that can play it without getting motion sickness, is, hold on, is it Moss? Yeah, Moss is the one with the mouse. It's one of these on Star Child. That's it. Star Child. When I first got the VR system, I thought, okay, I'm going to try this one first. This looks really neat. And it was amazing. I mean, it just totally blows your mind. The effects and everything. It's beautiful. I actually smashed my head on the couch because I was crawling and just right into the couch. But yeah, within about 3 minutes of playing that game, you will be so overwhelmingly sick. And I've done Eagle Flight, I've done the Luge, I've done all those, and then gone back to that game and still had the same results. Still got motion sickness. So yeah, that game, and it's not really fun. Like I think maybe it's because if you're playing with VR, obviously you can't see what's going on the TV and vice versa. So I think maybe one person is supposed to be controlling the TV. I don't know, but it's graphic-wise, it's a great introduction into the like bioluminescent look that VR is capable of rendering, but overall gameplay, I still don't really get the purpose of it. I mean, it was neat to just kind of like, motorboat the bioluminescent algae and everything, but there was nothing really to do other than that. So that game is, maybe I just don't know how to play. All I know, motion sickness within 3 minutes. You can do Eagle Flight. Eagle Flight is where you're an eagle is flying in VR. That one is really cool. The only downside is, and it really is the only downside, is I had really hoped that it was going to be much more realistic. Because I think that we absolutely could have, they have GoPros on birds all the time. So I really think that it would be very easy to create a very realistic flying game. But right now, that's pretty much the closest you have to it is Eagle Flight. And it is a lot of fun. And what's great about it is it's just your head. You just, tilt your head however you want to go. So it's fun, doing that. And when you slam into stuff, I mean, it's like the same as if you died. So it starts over. But it's a lot of fun. But I don't see, nobody I've had play it has gotten motion sickness off of it or anything. But you would think a flying game you would. There's a Shark Cage game, which is a lot of fun. It is on, I think it's on PlayStation Worlds. Yeah, Ocean Descent. This one's fun. Ocean Descent's on here. Let's see. The VR Luge and Danger Ball. So those are fun. This one does have one fun game on it. I think it's this one. It's not Dino Frontier. Maybe it's not this one. Okay. I must be missing it then. It's another one of those demo discs, but I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, the Ocean Descent on this is really cool. You're supposed to be going into a deep dive to find out what the sonar is picking up down there and everything. And there is this ginormous great white shark. And it's really neat. It's for somebody that's never done a deep descent in a cage, I'd have to say it's as realistic as I can imagine it would be. The VR Luge in this is a lot of fun. It's another one you kind of direct with your head. And the perfect thing to sit in when you play that game is one of the Papasan chairs, like what I'm in right now, because you can really lean back and, get into it. So, VR is definitely best when you try to fit the surroundings to it. You know, when you try to get in a position that's similar to how you would be in the game. That's when it's the best. Um, yeah, there's the shark. So that game is that game's fun, but the demo discs normally are very, very hit and miss. I can pick them all up again. I don't have it right here with me, but Doom, the VFR, that one, that one's cool. I like that. Fallout, I don't know why my Fallouts aren't here. I like Fallout. I like the time period it takes place. I like the storyline. I like all that. But the issue I have with it is it just it gets a little dull after a while, you know? And it's just meh. I mean, it's not bad. I like it, but it's just one of those that it's like the Grand Theft Autos. You keep throwing out all these new versions of it, and it just gets old. There's nothing new. You know, it's boring. So this is it for that. Farpoint. I'll probably never play Farpoint again. It's best game ever, though. But no, I'd still want to talk about Until Dawn. I love that game. Love it so much, I just chunked it. But yeah, it's about Wendigos, and before I even knew exactly what it was about, because, you know, I figured I'd just go test it out, see how it is. I knew some of the people that were involved in the making of it, and I remember saying, I bet it has to do with Wendigos, because that guy has been involved with like 3 other games that were about Wendigos, and about 4 movies that were about Wendigos. So, or Wendigos, however you want to say it. So yeah, that's what this is about, but it's really neat. It's like the Resident Evil. I'm not Resident Evil. Breaking Bad, and Walking Dead. The Walking Dead game for PlayStation 3. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the Walking Dead game. Redemption, something like that. Anyways, it's a lot like that, where you really do have to answer and pay for the choices you've made. And I need to change that. So that game was a lot of fun. That was the first game I played that was so interactive into that choose your own adventure. And, you know, I grew up with the choose your own adventure books and everything, so that stuff's awesome. Trying to change this. So, yeah, Until Dawn, love it, love it, love it. I can't wait until they have more games that come out. Go away. More games like that. This is stupid. And there we go. There we go. Now we are all set. Yeah, I just really liked it. I mean, there were some parts of it that you were like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, why would they be going? I mean, it's like if I decided right now that, hey, I'm going to go up to, let's see, where's Chicago or wherever the worst snowstorm is. I'm going to go up there just because it's the anniversary of something. That whole lead up of how they got them back to go to this cabin. What it is a year ago, you're at a cabin with all your friends and all that, and then there's a set of twins, and then their brother. They're the ones that own this cabin. Well, for some reason, the friends decide to pull a prank against the one twin, humiliate her. She goes running out. The twin goes running out, and from there, your decisions start. You are now playing as the one twin, not the one that got embarrassed, but the other one. So you have to decide all this, and there are several things that as you go further in the game, you realize it kind of didn't matter. And there's several different results for the game. I've played it to where everybody lived, everybody died. I was the only survivor. Well, one was the only survivor. I'd kill whoever was annoying just to do it. But yeah, I mean, and you really see how you do pay for these choices later, like especially when you need numbers on your side, when you need somebody to go do this or everything's going to blow up. You killed that person earlier. You know, you're kind of limited now what you're gonna do. Um, but that game is a ton of fun, a ton of fun. Uh, oh, a VR game that is absolutely amazing. It's not even a game. It was a marketing thing for Spider-Man: Homecoming, and they had I'd say probably 10-minute little demo game, and you use the wands, and that's how you shoot the webs and everything. But it's so neat. It really is, and I think that if they would fully conceptualize that game, that would be a number one seller in a heartbeat. But I think that so much money went into making this demo as perfect as it was that to really fully render, an entire video game as great as they did that, I don't think that is really a financial possibility. I think they would cut too many corners with it, and then it would end up being mediocre at best. But no, and you can still find it on PlayStation, on the PS4 in the shop and everything, and it's Spider-Man: Homecoming. It is a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm still feeling like crap. And then there's Watch Dogs for PS3 that was a lot of fun. I'm still waiting for them to re-release Chaos Bleeds, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Love that game. But I will say, I never beat Kakistos. I couldn't. My brother, who at the time, this was PlayStation 1 or 2, my brother was, the master of video games then. And I asked him, I was like, hey, can you beat this guy for me? I cannot beat this guy. I've looked it up online, and it seems like this is an issue. People are having a really hard time beating him. And so he was like, yeah, I'll do it. He never could do it. Nobody could ever beat Kakistos. I've had other friends even try to beat him. I'll set up the system, be like, hey, can you beat him? Let's try. And there's no luck with that. So, never got past there. I assume he's the final boss. I don't know, because even reading online, I haven't really found anybody that beat that part. And, I mean, you can beat it. I mean, it's a Buffy game. Of course, there has to be a way to beat it. But I haven't found that. So, that still sticks in my head as like a bucket list item I need to do. Army of Darkness, the Evil Dead game that was for PlayStation 2. It was a 2-disc. That, I would say, is what really sparked my love for video games that you can either watch or play as what we call advisor. So you have the person that's playing, and then another person that's watching that is basically looking out for all this stuff. And Until Dawn is a great game to do that too, also, because it's like you're watching a movie. So it is a lot of fun, so much fun, because it's a pretty good movie. But with the Evil Dead game, it follows the shut up, Tom. But anyways. No, bitch. Anyways, yeah, the Evil Dead game, I'm a big fan of Evil Dead. And it really follows all the movies. And the second disc all takes place where Army of Darkness does. But the first disc is all the first and the second movie combined. I mean, so you have like the creepy doll Linda, but then you also have headless dancing Linda. And it is so much fun. It is so much fun. I would say that game is what started my love of continuous play game, of the strategy games and everything. Doom and Myst, of course. You, question mark. Okay. Headless? Oh, okay. Because I'm having a blonde moment. Linda, that's one of my Dungeons and Dragons characters. Okay. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. Anyways. But yeah, Evil Dead, that one really followed the movies and everything. And I like games that follow the movies because it makes you feel like you know the layout, you know where everything is. And that's like how the Buffy game was, is I knew where everything was going to be. It was very easy to find everything because I was such a fan of the show and still am. I do not support this reboot though, that I knew the layout of Sunnydale without even knowing that I knew the layout of Sunnydale. So that was funny. But great game. There's a lot of older games like that that were really good, worked really great with the system, great gameplay, great storytelling, but they just kind of were left in the lurch. They never went ahead and made those, I mean, yeah, you can still play it, but I mean, you want the graphics that are made for PS4 and PS3 and all that. You want those graphics. It's not going to be the same. I mean, when you're playing the game when it first came out on a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2, all that was available at the time, you're talking about, oh my God, this is high-end graphics. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen, y'all. But then to play a PlayStation 1 game on a PlayStation 2 game, it's like, oh, okay, well, I mean, a little bit. But then when you see a PlayStation 4, a PS4 game, and then you even vaguely remember the other games that you have played on, the previous systems, it's like, wow, that really falls to the wayside. So they need to update. They don't need to change the storylines or anything. Just, update it, fix the graphics, make it flashier. And they need to re-release those games onto the new system because they still have a big following. People still love Evil Dead. People still love Buffy. They will buy them, but they need to make them available for the new console instead of like, well, if you want to play it, then it's only $14.99, but it's a 20-year-old disc. So they need to get on that and everything, but with the new reboot of Buffy coming out, that's all I have to say about that. It's dumber than Charmed reboot, just put it that way. My allergies are killing me. Oh my God. So, yeah, I have pushed the lengths of how good I feel. I really have. They are what? They are remastering them? Or just releasing them? I don't know. I'm waiting for your response as if like you're going to respond quickly. Forgetting the delay. But, yeah, I'm real excited for, another brain fart. I have so much Mucinex and Benadryl in me right now that it's just, yeah, my brain's going blank. What I do want is I have Arc for, VR. And I'm disappointed in it. I want a really good dinosaur game, a really good VR dinosaur game with a lot more interaction. Arc Park, I mean, it's okay. But then, like, within 5 to 7 minutes, you've experienced all the dinosaur there is to experience. And it kind of doesn't really go further. It is fun riding on the Triceratops. Always been a fan of writing. Anyways, and so my goal is I want to find a really, really good dinosaur VR game, and I know they just came out with the Jurassic World game, but it's not VR. I have not played it yet. I need to though because I need to see if it's worth getting. Because if it's interesting, I'll still get it and try it out. I don't know why it's still saying Fortnite. But, yeah, so that's what I'm waiting on now is for some dinosaur games to come out. I want them to re-release Buffy. They need to do that. Chill with the Fallout games. Is, just take it down. Some, Fallout's good, but it's not that great. And there's supposed to be another Until Dawn. It's not an Until Dawn, but it's by the same makers, and so it's going to follow that same general strategy, choose your own adventure kind of guide. So whenever that comes out, I'll be definitely playing that and probably streaming that one. I haven't streamed much of Until Dawn, because I don't know how other people would really care about watching that. I think that's more of something that is interesting to you if you are playing it or you are there while the person's playing it, because it is like watching a movie, and if you're not steadily paying attention to it, you can kind of be like, well, I don't care about any of these characters. So I don't stream that game that much just because I don't think people would be interested in it, but it's like my favorite game. I highly recommend it. It is just a lot of fun. And also, if you want to help set the mood, you can look at the picture on the bottom. If you want to help set the mood with that, on Netflix, there's a TV show called Slasher. And this last season took place at a similar place to that. And it was real good. It was real gory. I mean, I really give that show credit. That show gets gory. They don't hide anything. Boom, blood, guts, entrails. I mean, it's very, very graphic and very enjoyable because of that. And it has a good cast. It has very good cast, very well acted. The last season of Slasher, they're camp counselors, and one of the counselors ended up dead, and it's all them, trying to own up to it, face up to it, hide it, whatever they want to do. But yeah, that one, I was very surprised by that. There is a character on there, because I don't want to spoil it, because I really think people should watch this if you like slasher stuffs, because it's called Slasher. There is a character on there, and I won't say who, that performs a rape against somebody. That's I guess the best way to. I mean, that's what it is he raped somebody, and it was horrifying. I mean, it was, watching that scene on there, it was like, holy crap. I mean, you really felt like you were watching a man get raped by another man. That's what, and it was disgusting, because it's almost like you could feel that terror. But then I just, you take a step back and you realize that is just because they have prepared such a well thought out, scripted and marked show that you really buy that this is happening. I mean, watching it, it's like, absolutely, that dude did that. I mean, of course not, they're actors, but I mean, it really gave you that visceral, guttural reaction, just like, oh my God. And I really think that elevated that show. I really do, because it brought it out of this, we're just actors, we play different characters every season for the same show. The main guy that did it, I do not believe he was on the season before, and I don't think that the guy he did it to was. If he was, I can't remember him being on the first one. The first one was with the serial killer dad. What was his name? And it was kind of dumb. I thought the premise of the first one was dumb. I mean, the guy that was her dad, he's such a little ginger wimp. I mean, oh my God, go back to your field, Scarecrow. I thought they did a very bad job with casting on the first season, but the second season they nailed it, because everybody that sucked in the first season isn't in the second season. So that was awesome. Let's see, Slasher, that's really good. I have not checked out You. I've been hearing a lot about it. I don't like Penn Bagley, whatever his name is. I'm not a big fan of his. I'll give it a shot, though, just because the concept seems interesting. But I'm not a fan of his. I've never found him to be that good of an actor, and he's definitely not the least bit attractive to me at all. But that's not why you should enjoy an actor or an actress, of course. They don't have to be attractive to be interesting. So, yeah, I'm going to check that out. I like the documentaries. Oh man, I love the Ted Bundy one that's on Netflix. As I've said before, the Bundy case was pivotal to our criminal justice system. Forensic odontology, all that was not a legit and sophisticated form of science until the Chi Omega Bundy case. So I find it fascinating. And these tapes, people have been waiting forever to hear these tapes. So I really recommend that. That's an awesome documentary. I'm excited to see the movie with Zac Efron as well. Not too big on him, but I know people are saying that, oh, it's romanticizing Ted Bundy. No, it's not. The media, the people, they romanticize Ted Bundy. They were all like, oh, he's so charming, he's so charismatic. So I don't think that movie is glorifying him at all. For one, it's supposed to be told from his girlfriend's point of view. So this is going to be how she sees him, rose-colored glasses. She's going to see him as being, this suave, debonair man. But Bundy never told people, I'm charismatic and I'm charming to boot. No, he never did that. He showed you he was. He let you see that he could charm the pants off you. I mean, that's just how he was. And that is why he is such a fascinating case to study and everything. But anyway, so the Bundy Confessions, that's really good. Keeping along with the criminal justice aspect. The Keepers, that's awesome. With Sister, oh God, my mind's gone blank. I'll remember it as soon as I stop. It is a great story, and it also, I mean, there's corruption that is just insane. There is a case going on right now here in Texas. That is, I suggest everybody go check out the Justice for Jan website. Read about what Leon County Sheriff's Department, what they're all covering up. And this is an ongoing case. This is still going. And, oh, man, you want to talk about corruption? Just, oh, wow. And it's really hard to believe that when you read the facts on this case, that this is even an issue. This should not, this is cut and dry. Dude marries a woman, kills woman after he he falsified her will. It's not her signature. He did all this. Kills her. Now he's in charge of quite a significant portion of property and funds and everything. So in his will, which we don't even know if it's legit or not, it named another random person to be the person to inherit all this. Well, all of a sudden, this guy just magically dies right in the middle of, the family of the mother fighting for, the rights of this property that's been in the family for a while. He magically dies, just poof, dead. And now this woman has everything. This woman, okay, I get, wills, probate, estate, all that. This woman has zero claim to it because the original will that left anything to the dude it's fake. It's a fake will. It's not her signature. But Leon County refuses to let anybody else touch this case, any other county, anything touch this case, because all of it is just different tiers of White Pine Bay from Bates Motel. I mean, you want to talk about a real life White Pine Bay? You're talking about Leon County in Texas. Only it's not pot. It's not something that, people don't overdose from. No, it's like crank, meth, whatever. But it is so deep. The corruption runs so deep there that it really boggles the mind. And if you try to file any cases there for the mother's side of the family, or anything that's not saying, people that are in Leon County are going to benefit from this, they won't hear it. They won't hear it at all. They are entering in these absolutely insane judgments and allowing lawsuits. I mean, one family member said, I would really like to hear their side of the story to see what their justification is. Now, this isn't a direct quote. I'm summarizing it. Never said a name. Never said an exact person or anything. Just they. Spoken generals. Broad generals. And they got sued for $1 million. And the judge, okay. So you figure, okay, file anti-SLAPP. That's going to be removed. No. The judge allowed it. He dismissed the anti-SLAPP. And is saying, no, this $1 million lawsuit, this is the girl that now has inherited all this stuff that she should not have, is suing the family of the mother for $1 million. And I don't understand why Leon County courts are allowing this to happen. It is a absolutely frivolous lawsuit. But it shows that Leon County is going to take care of Leon County, and they are going to bury everything and everybody that gets in their way, whether it's with frivolous lawsuits or they will actually make sure you end up buried 6 feet under. It's worked twice so far for them. Not pointing out any names. So I'm just want to summarize that if Leon County is feeling a little bit froggy and wants to come after me, you go ahead, because we will be having court in Dallas County, not your little podunk piss ass Leon County. So anyways, since they're so sue happy, me even like mentioning it, I run the risk of being sued by them. Well, you know what? You can eat me. I wrote a tell-all from when I worked at the Dallas County Sheriff's Department about the abuses and murder of an inmate, and you can't sue for defamation. The protection against defamation, libel, and slander is the truth. This is the truth. I am presenting just the facts of the case. Leon County somehow just finds a way to always keep that money in Leon County, and if that money wants to leave, well, just get rid of the person, but the money stays there. So that's kind of what they're doing. And Justice for Jan, there's a Facebook page, and you can get all the facts on it and everything. I have talked to the family, so I do have, this isn't me just like, oh, well, I saw this case in the news. No, it was Chris Hansen, I believe it was, did a special on it. So this is it was a Dateline episode. This is a legit case that needs massive attention, because with Leon County able to keep it quiet and private, justice will never be served. There will never be justice for Jan or Gerald, the piece of crap that killed her. I mean, put it this way, the woman couldn't lift her hand like above here, okay? Now, this isn't like the medical facts of it, but let's just say for argument's sake, she couldn't lift her hand above here. And she had like arthritis or a severe shoulder injury, something. I can't remember the exacts. But somehow you're telling me that she used an arm that essentially had no movements, no motion, no strength. And she Hillary Clinton'd herself. Because, every foe of Hillary Clinton commits suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head. I mean, I am able-bodied. And that's not even a way that it doesn't make sense. Everything about it doesn't make sense. The 911 call that he made doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I definitely suggest people look into Justice for Jan and see Texas public corruption. I think it's Texas political or public corruption. I can't remember. You'll find the link on Justice for Jan. And it's just, oh my God, and they're getting away with it. That's what's so shocking. That's me. Keep talking. Okay. They're getting away with it. And it's absolutely appalling to me that this blatant disregard for justice, for facts even, is just like, no, I refuse your logic and I substitute it with that of my own. I mean, that's exactly, yeah, it's just really, really shocking. I mean, Dallas County, we have plenty of scandal and everything. But, I mean, hell, even the Dallas Police Department knew we got to fire Amber Geiger. I mean, they at least knew they needed to do that after she killed a black man in his own apartment. Yeah. She's going to walk, though. And I can tell you why. They are charging her with murder. I am a scandal, baby. But no, she's going to walk. And this is why. They charged her with murder. In Texas, capital punishment goes with capital murder. Well, there's going to be, she already has a benefit of the doubt. If she can prove that this was not, she didn't walk in there, guns a-blazing, then it's like, well, maybe she didn't mean to. And it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what your opinions are. It matters what the law is. That creates a doubt. reasonable doubt that she did not mean to kill. That's why they should have gone with manslaughter. If they would have gone with manslaughter, she would have been nailed beyond belief. But same reason why Casey Anthony got away with it is there was that little sliver of doubt, and that is all it takes for you to have to say not guilty, because you cannot dole out the maximum punishment that the United States offers, which is capital punishment. You cannot issue that to somebody that even has a sliver of doubt of what happened. So, since they did that, they charged her with murder. And I think it was everybody was like, yeah, murder, get her with murder. They did that to satisfy, the lynch mob of people that wanted this to happen. But the problem is people are so happy she's, got a charge. She has been indicted. This is going to follow her. But she will never be convicted of murder. I mean, for one, cop. How often does that happen? 2, female. How often does that happen? And 3, white. White cop, female. She's not going to prison. She hasn't even gone to jail. She's not going to. I bet she won't even have to sit in jail during her trial. I bet she's going to be out on bond the whole time. Even though it's a murder charge, her bond should have been $1 million. Somehow, her bond was only $300,000. But murder carries $1 million bond. She paid $3,000 and she was out 2 hours later. She was booked in, paid, released. That's not justice. But, justice apparently only applies to, the ones that have the money that demand it. So a normal person like Botham Jean's family, they don't have this legal arsenal behind them. They can only hope that the DA does their job. And all the DA's doing right now is pandering to people like, oh yeah, we're going for murder. She knows. That DA knows that Guyger is going to be found not guilty. So while she's trying to act like she's for the family, that DA is working for Amber Guyger and the Dallas Police Department because Amber Guyger is going to walk. She is. Now, well, if you look at her, she looks like any just common white trash girl. So, I mean, she could easily fit in Florida, in a trailer park. She's good as gold if she goes there. But if she tries to stay in bigger cities and everything, people are going to run her out. And sometimes if courts don't work, vigilante justice, I'm not condoning vigilante justice, but I'm not saying that it's 100% useless. I'm not condoning, I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying it's not. Yeah, Florida Man, the adventures of Florida Man. Maybe she'll go down to Florida and meet a naked bath salt eater and get her face eaten off. God, I was in Hawaii when that happened. And I was doing a comedy show out in Hawaii. Oh, amazing place. But anyways, and that was when the Florida face eater happened. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's, what? What do you mean he ate his face? I mean, it's just, it was mind-blowing. I mean, it's, even now, it's, oh, and maybe I just don't have that strong of a will to live compared to some people, but oh God, I would not want to live through that. It's just like the woman that got attacked by the chimp. Don't let me live. Please, God, no. There's quality of life, and that is not quality of life for me. I mean, I know, like, whenever you take a rabbit to the vet, they'll tell you that rabbits have very low will to live, and they'll die under anesthesia real easily, which, not necessarily true. But yeah, if I gotta live like that, that's not a quality of life. No, I'll check out now before I live without a face. That's not a vanity issue. It's a pure quality of life issue. I'm not gonna walk around without a face. I mean, oh my God, I cannot imagine the horror that woman with the chimp must have felt. Oh man. Man, I mean, I've been around animals my whole life. I've stared many animals, well, not, stare them. You look them in the eye, so animals that are as tall as me, I'm 6 feet tall, so, an animal as tall as me can be alarming unless it's a giraffe or a horse. But, I just can't imagine something as pretty much articulate as a human ripping your face and your hands off. I mean, it's like you, like, oh no, not the face. Oh, let me just take that hand off. Now you can't block your face. Don't have one. Anyways, yeah, no, that's just terrifying. I got bit on my face by a dog, by a Rottweiler. My mom raised Rottweiler. She raised a lot of different breeds at different times. We had Rottweilers at the time, German Rottweilers. And I was like 7 or 8 or so, and she had had a litter maybe a week before. So I had her under a blanket. Reba was her name. And I'm playing with her. She seemed fine and everything. And then all of a sudden, she like grabbed me, like I saw it in her mouth, went like grabbed me like full circle. It felt like around my face, but never actually bit down. Like she didn't break the skin, but I saw the inside of the dog's mouth, like over my face. So that kind of taught me boundaries. But also, I was a kid, so I didn't know that since she just had puppies, that this was going to be, a negative thing for her. I thought, she loves me. She loves to play. No, that's not how that went at all. That tastes more like tea than energy drink. But, yeah. Excuse me. So the face thing was just, oh, the chimp, just terrifying. But anyways, a face eater. So I hear about this. And then at the same time, this was like the second time that this had happened on a bus, that somebody decapitated somebody and then began to eat them. This wasn't the one that took place in Canada. This one was in, I think it was on the border though. And then there was all I know is I was there for 6 days, and there were 5 different, there was the cannibal cop in New Jersey. He was also caught. And then there were 2 other things I think that had to do with cannibals. And I remember saying, dude, if I hear one more thing about cannibals, I'm not going back. And he's like, why? And I say, because something is breaking out in the U.S. right now. It's like rabies, zombie virus, T virus, rage virus. I don't know, but something is going on. And it looks like, zombie stuff's going on. No. I'd rather stay here in paradise anyways. But, yeah, and then it came out the guy wasn't even on bath salts. Like, it's like, we found marijuana in his system, but we have no idea why he would do this. Because he's crazy? I mean, I'm not on drugs. And the thought of eating somebody's face is pretty out there for me. So, I'm not going to eat a face. Tastes just like chicken. But, yeah, so that really freaked me out. I hear all these different cases of people eating people. What the hell's up with that, man? I mean, honestly, we are the only people that would taste good would be like vegetarians, and they really would, because the thing is, there's no substance to our bodies for people to eat. That's the thing. And I mean, I know the face eater didn't do it for nutrition, but I don't even know why people would do that, even crazy or not. I mean, I think anything would taste better than a human. Our bodies use, like, everything that goes into it. It doesn't matter what weight you are. The food that goes in your mouth, even if it does, food gets stored, the sugar, all that gets stored as fat. It doesn't matter. Our bodies still break down and disperse the majority of the things that we consume. So when you're talking about eating somebody, you're talking about a body that, okay, so let's say the body ate 100%. The body dispersed 90% of what it ate to everything, to running the body. The 10% pass out just as pure waste. And then, the other things that the body naturally sheds and all that. So why would you want something like cannibal tribes is, I guess, the people that I would like an answer from? Why would you eat something that has less than a 10% nutritional value, but even lower than that? Because we're omnivores, but humans, we are a little more to the carnivorous side. We like our proteins. We like our meats. So, but meats are not something that will make us taste better. They energize our bodies, not somebody that's going to feed off of us. That's why predators, meat eaters, prey herbivores. So, all I'm saying is instead of killing a cow, maybe you should just eat a vegan. You know, I mean, honestly, could they whine any more during the dividing and slicing process than they do already about being vegan? I mean, really, everybody knows when they're vegan. It's like somebody does CrossFit. So if you can find a vegan CrossFitter, they probably taste the best. Um, no, they might taste a little jerky. Yeah, that was lame. Um, but yeah, so they ended up being like 5 cases or so of cannibalism in the U.S., like all in like a 1 week period. But since we were in Hawaii, we weren't on the mainland. Uh, we were getting like the highlights of like the worst and the best things that were happening. There was also a volcano that had, not the one that's going off now, but a volcano that had covered almost half of Oahu at this point. I can't really give any names of anything because I can't pronounce anything there. Kamayeha, whatever was the highway or whatever. Did go to Pearl Harbor there. Beautiful. I mean, well, I don't want to say beautiful because that makes it sound like touristy. Very somber. Very somber. I don't know how, if you have any knowledge, I mean, I make it that big. If you have any knowledge or any respect, appreciation for military or history, there is no way that I really feel like you could walk around Pearl Harbor and not feel this just like burden of sadness. I mean, that's not even going on to the Arizona Memorial. That was, I mean, you're looking down like at it underwater, knowing that there were people in there, their bodies are still in there. And it's just, it was just, it was a real eye opener. And it was neat because there's this one area that you stand in, right, you know, because they have educational things everywhere, little billboards and all that. And it said where you were standing, and then it gave the facts and everything. And then it told you to look straight up from where you were. So you have this, like, you know, well, it's big, it's about 3 feet long in front of you, like plaque thing. And it tells you to look up. And when you look up, you can look back down, and the distance you are from it, from the actual site, is the distance this picture was taken from. Or, you know, zoomed into the distance it's supposed to be. So as you're looking at it, I mean, it is lined up so you can see how much, it did not look like anything could have happened there. It didn't look big enough. It didn't look, I mean, looking at it's like, how could they even fit a ship through there? You know, and then you see this picture and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess. But yeah, that was really neat. My grandfather was on the San Francisco, one of the, I believe 2 ships that got, battleships that got out of, not battleships, I can't remember the exact classification of San Francisco. But it was like one of, I think, 2 that actually got out and then later came back. Because, you know, they had to get them out because this would just, you know, destroy everything. So they ended up coming back and everything. And, well, I mean, you know what happened. But, yeah, so, I mean, got Pearl Harbor plaque, all that. He died in, like 10 years ago. Boss, his name really was Boss. Leslie Boss. Thought that was a pretty awesome name, but he wasn't really an awesome man. But what else? Let's see. Any other face-eating things have happened? There was a guy in Chicago. Actually, there's been a couple of them. There's been like 4 of them in New Jersey because, yeah, New Jersey keeping it classy. That made people into hamburgers. And, I mean, I've had different kinds of meat, and I can always tell, like, this is not beef. This is, you know, you can just tell. So I just want to know how somebody could eat a human burger, even if it's mixed with ground beef. How do you not taste your food? You know, are you eating to eat or eating because you're hungry? Because I don't know how you could not taste it. Or, if somebody's like, oh, here, this is deer. I guess it's that feeling that nobody wants to believe somebody's going to feed them a human. I wouldn't want, just because the body smells so bad. Just, I wouldn't want that in my house. I wouldn't want to have to quarter that. You need a walk-in freezer just to hang it right. That's a lot of work. But, yeah. So, face eating, scary. William normally would be streaming games right now, but he is at jury duty. So funny. And he doesn't even have a driver's license right now. His birthday was on the 2nd, and he didn't renew his driver's license. And, I'm not his mother. So, did not call him on his birthday, may I add. Yeah, so he didn't do it until Friday, which was the 1st. So he does not have a physical copy of his driver's license right now. He also does not have a printed copy of it. He has a picture that he took with his phone. So then he has jury duty today. And of course, it's at like the crappiest of the courthouses, George Allen. I mean, Government Center is, just a nightmare. Lou Sterrett's at least organized, I mean, even when it comes, because Government Center, that's the jail, and then George Allen is the courthouse. At least that's what the people that called it that work for Dallas County. I don't know what anybody outside calls it, but George Allen is the courthouse. Government Center is the jail that was on top of it. Even the people that worked in the jail there were, I'm trying to think of like the nicest, most PC way to put that. Well, if you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, then when you see them and then you hear them talk, it's just, well, isn't that special? Because, yeah, they were special. Special. But, yeah, that's where he has to go to court, and I think it's funny, or go to jury duty, and I think it's funny because that courthouse sucks. He's there, and he said there's over 300 people just waiting around, and I'm coming to the conclusion that he has never served on a jury or been called for jury duty before in his life, because there's a lot of people. The thing is I love our criminal justice system, but my thing kind of goes on this: do I really want to put my fate, my future, in the hands of people that were too dumb to get out of jury duty? I mean, I know some people like it. My dad loves jury duty, but he hates everything else, including me. He hates, the only person he loves: himself. He loves my mom. He loves my brother. He loves all of his grandkids. And he loves jury duty. Hates the hell out of me. He's always hated me, though. And it's not one of those, oh, my dad doesn't like me. No. Well, my dad's made it clear that he's never liked me. So, yeah. Feelings mutual, babe. But since he's getting old and I'm able-bodied and he's not, it's starting to kind of go into my favor now. Now it's like he yells at me. He's like, oh, well, I'm going to go home. And then, what was that? Was that a sorry? All you have to do is just say, yes, it was a sorry. You don't even have to say it. Just tell me that you already did, because that's more than I've ever gotten out of that man. But yeah, my brother raises and sets the son. He, loves him, just loves him. And, being the youngest in the family, it's one of those, you don't even know him. You don't. But, see, I know my dad will never watch this, but my brother might, and I have to see him every now and then, so keep it a little nicer. But, yeah, my allergies are starting to pick up. I'd only planned on going for a couple, maybe a 5-minute video. I just wanted to talk about the games and everything, because I cannot say enough good things about this game. I love this game so much, and nobody will play it with me. You don't even have to play it. Just, watch. Or I'll watch you play. However you want to do it. I love this game. I just love this game. And I wish more people would play it. I want somebody to play with me. I want people to play with me. Anyways. So, All right. It is time for me to redose my Mucinex and all that. So, uh, it's 10:19 here in the morning. So I will probably be on later, do another video and all that. Now that I know who Prime Alpha 1 is, I had my suspicions, but now I know for sure. So yeah, I'll probably be back on later. Maybe have Will from Random Bunch on here, and everybody say hi to Prime Alpha 1 from Random Bunch as well. I'll have him on here and ask him how he enjoyed his first jury duty. Obviously, can't ask if he gets picked. I can't ask him any questions about. Well, I can ask him. I can ask anything I want, but I will make sure he does not answer because I'm sure it's been explained to him. But just to be on the safe side, we don't want a Leon County issue happening. Anyways, so yeah, check out Until Dawn for PlayStation 4. Check out Rush of Blood. It's I believe it's Until Dawn Rush of Blood. Totally unrelated in the story and everything, but both amazing games. And definitely check out Justice for Jan, JUSTICEFORJAN on Facebook. And I believe it's Texas Political Corruption, Texas Public Corruption, one of those. But the link is also available on Justice for Jan. Absolutely read about it. Come to your own conclusions. And I look forward to talking to anybody that will read about the case and would like to talk about it. Absolutely. Maybe you'll bring a different insight into it than what I see. So please, people, go read up on the Justice for Jan case. Become familiar with just make yourself in general familiar with it. And I definitely would love to talk to people about this. I think that this is the kind of case, this needs to get people talking. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and say goodbye for now. I will be on later, and I'm actually kind of wanting to play Until Dawn right now, so I'm probably going to play that. So anyways, thank you for watching. If there's anything you would like to talk about, hear me talk about, talk together about, drop me a message, either leave a comment, DM me, Viraga on YouTube, Facebook, across all platforms. So yeah, just let me know what topics, conversations, everything that people would like to have. I have a plethora of knowledge and interests, so let's see what we can talk about. So just everybody, have a great day, have a great evening. I'll probably see you tonight though.